Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
Oh my gosh, all those. Wait a minute. It's still going. Oh my gosh, stop. Welcome. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you're listening on Spotify, the room is lit. The room is lit. Thank you. Wait, did you plan this? Because it's too long. Cecilia, thank you for being here. Ron, Taryn, whoever is watching on YouTube, Marianne Baker, I love you so much. Peter just joined us. Oh my goodness, stop. Wait, is this like a glitch? Elizabeth just joined the room. You did plan this. Okay, I get it. I get it. All right, so I will just. Okay, y'all keep clapping. Are you trying to make me like cry? Because it might work. Wait, this is what Taylor Swift feels like when they all clap. No, stop. So hilarious. Like, do you hear yourself? So, okay. 339 claps. This is so hilarious. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ah, ah. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Thank you so much. That was so epic. A full 2 minutes of claps. What? That was something else. For real. That was something else. Like I am sweating and I got goosebumps. It's all happening at the same time. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's like happy birthday to us. What? Oh my gosh. David just joined us. Oh my gosh. David, welcome. And everyone else. Peter, Ron. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. Yes, Peter, I know you're in Los Angeles and Taylor Swift is gonna go live in an hour. So we're gonna finish the episode just in time to literally run to TikTok to watch the concert live and have another sleepless night with Taylor Swift. And literally like 20,000 people watching the same TikTok live. It is insane. But let's talk about us. Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace is celebrating 1 year. What? 1 year of every moon day together. I know so far this year we missed one episode, and I know last year we may have missed maybe one episode. So, give and take, but still, here we are. What? I just can't believe it. And this week was going to be very dramatic. There's 6 planets retrograding. Whatever that means, right? We have talked about the basics. Like when the planet is in retrograde, just imagine whatever the planet stands for and whatever the planet defends and whatever the planet loves, kind of just like backwards, discombobulated, right? And so with 6 planets in retrograde at the same time, it can get literally like a cluster flap. And so the thing about the planets is the planets that are closest to Earth will affect us more than planets that are farther away, like Pluto. Pluto takes, longer to do its thing. And so when Pluto happens, it's a generational thing. So we millennials, there's a lot of millennials in the room. So we millennials are the generation of Pluto and Scorpio. So there's a lot of things happening for us right now with the shifts, that whatever. And the thing is that because of the six planets in retrograde, a lot of people in social media are like, dun, 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 about this week. And, Leo is, it is Leo season. But there's so many things kind of happening against it, like Venus retrograde. And so is Leo the villain, or is Saturn the malefic one, and poor Moon it's like struggling, and I'm over here like, what? The Moon has it. Like, ain't no Saturn that's gonna be malefic towards the Moon, right? Like, this is me just watching. Yeah, this is me just watching all the astrologers. And so I love I as you all know, we here stand, the big three are Taylor Swift, Channing Nicholas, and Jessica Lanyadoo, right? And so those are my big three. And I loved how Channy really focused on the big event happening next Sunday. And I was like, wait a minute, what about the rest of the week? Don't worry, I got you all. I got you. And then Jessica Lanyadoo and Goes to the Podcast was wonderful because, she breaks it all up and she explains everything. But again, she really reminded us about compassion, and I was like, yeah, that's what I said last Friday. Like, are we being compassionate? So I'm on track. So great. We can still just focus on the Moon, because I feel like if you really do focus on the Moon, you pretty much got it all. I think, astrology can be really scary because it's so profound. Totally understand that. But at the same time, we've already proven in our conversations in the past year that it's all cyclical, much like the tarot as well. Interesting, right? Because one card, it's like pushing you forward, and one card or one sign or one season or one transit is kind of pushing the limits, and then the other one, it's kind of a soft bed to land on. I've called it tender mercies, right? You've heard me say that before. And how we keep just proving that we just survive whatever transit is happening. And so Venus is retrograde. Venus kicked my booty during the weekend. We're going to talk about that too. And I just feel like when I realized, when I kind of like put two and two together, that the very first episode of Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace, Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace, was last year on August 8th. Oh, that's so cute. Because it was a moon day, apparently, right? Because that's when we did our show all along. Um, I got really excited, and all of the malefic and moody and villain and drama that kind of like was promised to me as a consumer of social media from other creators, it all went away because there's so many reasons to celebrate, right? And you all know, those of you in the room, and if you've been following for a minute, Song of Myself is a poem by Walt Whitman that we're not going to get into, but it's pretty much one of the foundations of my many projects and inspirations and whatnot. And the very first line of the poem is, I celebrate myself. I wonder if you've seen that video from Snoop Dogg where he's finishing like a keynote speech, and he's saying, last I would like to, what does he say? Congratulate me or something like that. Snoop Dogg is the funniest. But anyway, I'll share it tomorrow if I remember. Ron, remind me to share the video about Snoop Dogg. But anyway, I celebrate myself. And so it just made me realize, it all came flooding back, the many conversations. I didn't look back at any episodes. Of course, I thought about putting together a bloopers reel. That would be hilarious, but honestly, who has time for that? I don't. But it's all there. We can go back and watch it. I did remember though that I did wear this hat last year for the very first episode, and I did the whole episode standing up, and Ronald in the room was very impressed. He was like, man, you did that that whole episode standing up, and I was like, oh, Ron, I'm standing up all day. I'm a mother. I spent all day running around with a 4-year-old who never stopped. So, 1 hour chatting it up with you, it's like 1 hour standing up in the kitchen talking. Yeah, it all day long, right? So here we are, 1 year together. And I'm so grateful. I have a poem that I wrote. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. And I cried earlier, so I might not cry, but trigger warning, I'll just say that. You might cry uh, because it's just reminiscing. What an amazing thing. And I know a lot of us in the room have had milestones that we have celebrated together. And it's just so beautiful to look back at that as well, right? Um, Things that we talked about last year that then already this year on month 8 have come to fruition, have really materialized, we've been blessed with, right? And so I'm just so grateful. I don't know how else to say it. And I remember so vividly the Lionsgate meditation from last year. So we're going to do it again. And I'm so excited. And we're going to talk about the Lionsgate too, but I've done a lot of research in the past year since our very first Lionsgate episode. So we're going to talk about all of that if you're ready. Oh my gosh, are we ready? Okay, so please tell me in the comments if you want me to read the poem now or if I should do it in the end. Because, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the week. So take a moment to comment, please. But we're starting the week with the moon in Taurus. And we've talked about it before. Taurus is the earth sign of earth signs, and it is ruled by Venus. So Venus, even though is in retrograde, she's right at home. Peter says to read the poem now. Oh, Peter. Okay, I'll read it. And then we'll get to the moon in Taurus. Okay. Taryn is driving. Taryn, drive safe. But thank you for that. Okay, so the poem doesn't have a title yet, because I don't know. I've never been big on titles like for poetry. It's kind of like a lot of pressure, I feel like. But here it is. You let me know how you feel about it. Okay. In shadows cast by lunar light, a year has passed, a wondrous flight. Moon magic's whispers, calm and true, guiding hearts through skies of blue. Mindfulness, a compass keen, for empaths in a world unseen. With grace as glue, a bond so rare, we navigate life's tender snare. Conversations woven deep through tearful nights, our secrets keep. In whispered echoes, laughters ring, friendships forged, heartstrings in sync. Through trials faced and lessons learned, a tapestry of moments earned. Lost companions, yet new ones found. In moon's embrace, we are love unbound. So here's to journeys rich and bright. 1 year complete, a shining light. With moon, magic, mindfulness, and grace, a symphony of souls that could never be replaced. And peace! Oh my gosh. Thank you. Aww. I'm itchy, I'm sweating, I'm telling you, this is, it never gets old. Oh, thank you. I wrote it for you. I wrote it for all of us. I was like, how can I put a year into words? And honestly, I kind of feel like I love that it sounds like a New Year's type of toast, so I might bring it out during the New Year's. But thank you. Thank you for being here. So let's talk about the moon this week. Once again, Also, Jessica Lanyado from the Ghost of a Podcast kind of like proved or hinted at what I said 2 weeks ago, which is that the cure for everything that's going to come up, which happened to me this weekend, is to ground whatever it is that you're doing. This week is all about creativity because of whatever's happening in Leo. And to do the things that you love and to do things that bring you joy and that you really find pleasurable, Venus, right? On purpose, more than ever before, because Venus retrograde right now squaring Saturn in Pisces, and Uranus is also doing its thing this week, is going to stir up a lot. Now, you ponder what does stirring up drama in my head look like? There's a percentage of the population that I don't remember right now, so Google it, that doesn't have an inner dialogue. It's probably because of clairaudience. Now, I believe that we can all develop those kind of gifts. So I wouldn't know if, the statistic is true or not. But the way that things get stirred up in my life for me is in my head. It's literally an internal dialogue of negativity, paranoia, um, sarcasm, sadness, melancholia, nostalgia, what do you want to call it? Displacement. It's like all the feelings verbalized, probably more so. It's probably more so for people that write, like either if you journal or if you write for a living. If you write for a living, you probably journal too, honestly. So, just if you practice mindfulness in the journaling form, there you go. You might struggle with that internal dialogue as well. I would love to know if you do, but that's how it goes for me. And so this whole weekend, I really focused on um, something aesthetically pleasing that I wanted to do. I'm also literally stacking up an area out there in the living room of little projects that I have, things that I want to paint, like wooden boxes and things that I just want to redo. And that's Venusian, right? Painting, working with my hands, focusing on obsessed with all the Halloween decorations that are everywhere, and all the new collections out there in the stores. They're already out, and it's like I normally wait until September, but apparently on TikTok they call it Summerween, and so it's the summer and they're already decorating for Halloween. I don't It's not FOMO, and I haven't given into the pressure, and I will hold off until September 1st because I love my husband very much, but everybody's already decorating. Everybody's already decorating. Why? Because Venus is retrograde. And so they're being prompted, maybe inadvertently, maybe they don't even realize it, but they're being prompted to tap into things that they love because in their head, it might be all a mess. So, how do you feel? Um, my weekend was a doozy that started with the full moon the week before. And the beautiful thing about this whole month, even though Venus is in retrograde and other planets are right now in retrograde, probably until the end of the month, we'll talk about it next week. We get to experience the full cycle of the moon, and that's also a very optimistic thing. And something that, in my opinion, in my practice, just feels like a very interesting, not just relief from all the other planetary drama, but it's like way bigger than a tender blessing. Because the whole cycle allows you to, even though it's negative, or even though things are miscommunicated, or even though a lot may be coming up that you don't really want to deal with right now, right? Which technically we could postpone until after the retrograde, where it'll just go back into your subconscious and it won't be brought up again. That's how interesting that is, right? And then you can just live in Delulu land, or just maybe not remember it. So, where was I? I said Delululand and I got so distracted. Okay. At the end of the day, the moon in Taurus, which is going to be until Wednesday, and then on Wednesday at exactly 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it goes into Gemini. The moon in Taurus will want us to ground. So, for example, I'm a Taurus with my North Node in Taurus, and today all I wanted to do was nap. All I wanted to do was be in bed. And I managed to not be in bed by covering the bed with clean laundry that needed to be folded. See what I did there? And then I forced myself to sit on my desk and record some content. So I did manage to work, right? And of course, get ready for this, which was really exciting. I wasn't complaining about getting ready for the episode, right? I was pretty much complaining about everything else. I didn't want to do anything else but just be in bed, which is very Venusian, right? I loved how Chani put it on her episode. She says, Venus has no problem resting, laying in her laurels and being fed grapes, right? Elizabeth knows what I'm talking about because she's a Taurus too. And so how did you feel? Wow, that explains why I totally overslept this morning for no reason because I had a full night's sleep. The moon is in Taurus. Exactly. Yes. That's why you just said, well, wait a minute. I may have just one more minute. Totally doable. Um, Yes. So that's why. And it'll be in Taurus until Wednesday. And then, Gemini gets the wheel moving again, I feel like, because Gemini is that air sign that's very creative. And the thing is, the whole thing about Venus in retrograde in Taurus with everything else that's happening is, to remember that Leo is that self expression. Leo is that want and need for authenticity. The, you know, even subconsciously, because I feel like a lot of us go through motions of not necessarily being authentic, but it may just happen subconsciously. The word masking is coming to mind, so I wonder if this is like a download or a reading that I'm not necessarily intending to do. Um, for the episodes, I just like for it to flow, but at the end of the day, Leo wants us to be authentic. Leo wants us to figure out what that is that makes us shine and really be the center of attention, but for good reason, right? Hopefully not for show. And so Venus in retrograde is also stirring up a lot of negativity about anything like intimacy, relationships, job security or lack thereof, finances. Jessica said not to make any big purchases during a Venus retrograde, so maybe you shouldn't buy a car or enter into any contracts, not necessarily relationships, but like buy a house. But as you all know, my husband works in real estate and there's transactions happening all the time in the, office that he is a manager at, but I'm not surprised when he comes up with like some drama. And the first thing that comes to my mind, it's like, yeah, like Venus is in retrograde. I'm not surprised that they're fighting over tile, aesthetics, and people's like brain going nuts with the astrology. And suddenly they're blaming childhood trauma and relationship issues that are being stirred up subconsciously on the tile. Things like that. That's the kind of thing that happens, I feel like. So, Moon in Taurus, it's the waning gibbous, and this is the beautiful thing how this cycle is going to start because we have that blue moon at the end of the month. Now, here's the other thing that I wanted to bring up, even though we still haven't talked about the Lionsgate. The blue moon. The blue moon is nothing really, astrologically speaking, or special, other than there happened to be two moons in 1 month, it only happens every 2 to 3 years, so it doesn't happen often. And somebody needed to give it a name because that's how history happens, right? So a farmer, literally, probably, in the Farmer's Almanac decided to give it a name, and it's called a blue moon. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that you do get the full moon cycle in a single month. Isn't that so beautiful to think about, really everything that's coming up with Venus and everything that's coming up this week with authenticity, who I am, who am I, what do I want? Is what I want aligned with what I have right now, or where's the gap? That's Saturn asking about the lack, right? Um, Relationships. Why do I keep, stepping onto the same stone and making the same mistake? And why do we keep having this argument? Or why do we keep having this conversation and going nowhere? Those are the kind of questions that will come up in retrograde because, and it's right at away, is more of a good flow towards positive, towards growth. But the retrograde is calling you to really deal with the negative so that you can blossom from it. Literally, like a lotus from the mud. The waning gibbous is talking about self-respect and how self-respect makes all the difference. That's totally relationship coded, obviously, and everybody in the room has been in the show for a year or a few months, and so you all know my background and what I stand for and advocate for, and so self-respect is huge, and a lesson that has taken me over 30 years to learn. Interesting. Um, so I wonder where my head was at when I thought about the astrology of this week and decided to write that. So maybe I need to reflect on that. But the affirmations are: I take pride in the fact that my values are present in my work. And I feel like now, celebrating a year of this journey that started almost 2 years ago. I used to do this every two, every new moon and every full moon. We would meet privately on Zoom, and it was a lot of fun. And we would do it during the day, and it was wonderful. And then Fireside happened, and I had a meeting, and it was wonderful to discuss moon magic and mindfulness with Grace, and that's how the show was born. And taking pride in the fact that my values are present in my work, I feel like has been a journey of self advocacy, not just in my relationship, but with myself. Because it is tempting when you're an entrepreneur, when you are launching a business, when you are doing things on your own, right? With not like that figure of authority. Like, who is the figure of authority when you are your own boss? You've heard me say this before. And how easy it is to just get distracted, or how easy it is to fall into cracks and fall into previous habits and just not propel forward and not achieve, right? And I go through those motions too, like today. Like, I literally had to seriously get up like so many times, and I would keep finding myself scrolling through TikTok, and it's like, I need to stop. I didn't want to do much, so that's why I kept doing that. I played vinyl. I folded so much laundry. I was like, anything but, I don't know, work. I didn't write anything today, except a poem, of course, but um the moon in Gemini will ask us to just try to figure all of it out and keep on um, making sense of it. And then the moon in Cancer is going to be it's going to make us focus on the home, the nourishment, the community. And then the big deal happens that Chani brought up, that it's a Kissimmee. We've talked about Kissimmees before. And it's so funny that I live just 5 minutes away from Kissimmee, Florida, even though they're not spelled the same. But the sun and Venus in Leo next Sunday apparently should be very beautiful, and we should totally really do all of that on purpose. So maybe plan to go to a museum or plan a picnic. Like what do you feel like doing that's fun or adventurous and hopefully safe? So at the end of the day, we may have a dramatic week because of the astrology and all the retrogrades. But if you really think about it, we have something to look forward to, which is on Sunday with that Kissimmee. And then the new moon, which is next Wednesday, the 16th. So we are going to discuss it that Monday, obviously. And it's all going to flow so beautifully. The second affirmation for today is peace, kindness, and love propel me forward. And I know how not difficult, but how we ebb and flow with those, especially during a Venus retrograde, and especially if you're like me and you struggle with that negative self-talk. Because for no reason I will be like mentally moody. Like I'll be quiet and I will be in my body. I will be on my feet, focused on whatever I'm doing. And all of a sudden, all I hear is a snide comment about whatever is happening around me. And I don't really mean it. So it's been my observation this whole time. Mercury is retrograde as well. And this is why negative self talk is also part of this conversation. I've said that many times before, but the thing about being a Mercury retrograde is that it's not just your inner communication, but also Wi Fi, flights, just the GPS misrouting you, emails sent to the wrong person or not sent at all. It happened to me, I think, last week that I sent an email to someone, but I never heard like the iPhone does with the airplane, like the paper airplane flying. Um, and so I got paranoid and I sent it again and I didn't hear it. And I sent it again just in case, literally. And the person got 3 emails from me. And of course I was freaking embarrassed. But that's the kind of thing I feel like that we don't, if I'm not aware that Mercury's retrograde, I'll check later. The email is maybe just in the time warp of Mercury retrograde. And so it's just going to take a little longer. Is it like a boomerang or something? But the email did in fact send in the end, and it was all good. So peace, kindness, and love propel me forward despite what is going on in your head, despite, other people's negativity around you. What are your energetic boundaries? How are you handling your energetic exchanges and the time that you give versus just what the universe, returns, inadvertently or not? What about nature? Have you spent time outside? It is really, really hot and humid in Florida. And so I wanted to be inside all day, and my child wanted to be outside all day. So when I'm in the middle of those kinds of conversations, I mean, how do you tell a 4-year-old that who's like literally covered in sunblock that he can't be outside? There's no reason, right? Like we do all the kinds of lessons literally outside, barefoot on the grass. And so my mind spirals thanks to all these planets. If you go through the same, I would love to hear from you, so that we can revel in our mystery together. Oh my goodness. All right. So thank you. Thank you again for being here. Let's see if any of you wants to come up and say hello. You're welcome to. And if not, Ron is here. Welcome, Ron.
Welcome. I'm so thrilled to
Do you
be
want to
here,
be on
first of all.
camera?
No. Thank you, though. I was thinking about it earlier, but I'm not prepared. I haven't done my makeup and all my beauty, you know. But I was just thinking, you told me the 1 year anniversary. I thought, oh, that's great, that's great, that's great. And now I'm thinking, my goodness, time does not exist. Time is so ephemeral. Is that the word? It's just so.
Is
Oh
it? I don't
man,
know.
yeah. Father Time just he always wins,
Mm.
and he just surprises me. So, but I remember the first episode. I remember you were standing up, like you said. I remember you had a Coca Cola in your hand, and you were very excited, very giddy with joy. Because actually, I think I went back at one point and watched that again just to see it because I was like, did I remember correctly? And it was like, yeah, you were very giddy. It was very fun. It was
My
you
hair
were
was
totally
so
excited.
long.
What'd you say?
My hair was so long.
Oh, I did. I had to. I forgot about that. I've forgotten
I
you
had
shortened your
braids
hair. My
like
goodness,
down to my
that's
waist.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
It'll grow. It'll grow.
yes. Oh, so you really, it's not. You don't really favor having the short hair.
Oh, no. I didn't say that.
Oh.
I just made that observation.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
it'll
Yeah.
grow. I'll get back to that.
Okay.
That doesn't
Okay.
mean I don't
It
like
was
this.
okay.
But yes,
Okay.
of course I miss my braids. I mean,
Oh,
it's a,
okay.
it's a big change to cut your hair when it's like that long.
I bet
But
it is.
it donated, so I was excited about that.
Right.
But
Right.
please continue. And Cecilia is here too. Go ahead.
Yes. So I just wanted to say, congratulations. It's been one heck of a year. I think you do an awesome job on this platform, and you do it so effortlessly. It looks like, and you seem so comfortable, and it shows that you've been doing camera work or Instagram, whatever the platform you did before this. It's obvious that you've been doing it for years. So just
Aw.
congratulations. I'm so happy to know you and be your friend, and lucky to know you and be your friend, and have another great. And you're a person that I've seen this a couple times in my life where I can see that person. Basically I see you have you're going to have a long life, and I see you,
Oh, Ron, thank
yeah,
you.
and I see you as an older woman doing something, like this still, and it's heartwarming to see that. So have a
Oh,
great night and congratulations.
thank
Bye
you
bye.
so much,
You're
Ron.
welcome. You're
Yay.
welcome.
Cheers to you. Cheers to
Thank
you.
you.
You're so amazing. And I'm so grateful for you as well. Thank you, Ron. Oh my goodness. Cecilia is here and Peter. Cecilia will go first. Oh, there you are. Do you want to be on camera?
I don't, and I don't want
Okay.
to tell you why.
Oh, that's fine.
Was I coughing on the? Did I have the mic unmuted? I hope not.
You did, but it's
Oh my
okay.
gosh, I'm so sorry. I
You're
don't really know
fine.
how to do this fireside thing.
I got you,
Sheila,
girl.
that's
I
so
got
funny. I'm
you.
so sorry, Ron, too, that I was coughing in your ear as well, or everyone. Anyway,
I muted you like right on time, so you're
oh,
good.
okay, perfect. I just wanted to
Oh, I'm
say
so grateful you're here.
congratulations on
Thank
one
you.
year. And I remember the hair too. I remember when you donated your hair. But wait, that was the first episode?
No, no, no,
Oh, I
no.
didn't think so. Okay,
The
okay.
first episode, I had my hair long all the way until February of this year.
That's
That's when I
right.
donated it.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think it was that long
In
ago.
between August and February, I cut it myself like twice. I would cut like 4 inches off of it because my hair just grows. Except when
Right,
it's short. Now it's going to take a little bit, like forever to grow. And then once it's like here, it'll grow. But yeah,
right.
I digress. Why are we talking about my hair? It's
Because Ron was talking about your hair, so I was like, wait, you did that a year ago? Yeah,
Actually,
that
I
was.
brought it up, so I apologize.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted to come up and say kudos, congratulations. That's awesome. And that was really fun in the beginning because I was just going to keep on going with the claps, and I was like, yay, everyone else is doing doing it too. Awesome. This is so fun.
That was,
That
I
was
swear that
great.
was hilarious. I might rewatch that just when I need that extra kick, you know?
I couldn't
Uh,
stop. I got so giddy too that I was just continuing. It was great. I want to do that all the time.
oh my gosh. Yeah, for real. Even right now I can't stop smiling, right? It's that was because they so everybody listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube, we, as you know, we are on the Fireside Chat app, and so they have kind of updated their system, and now we have like extra laughs. Like now that really sounded like a freaking whole place filled
So
with people,
good.
and that was hilarious.
Yay,
So
that
thank
was
you.
fun. Let's do it again
No.
before another year. I want
Yeah,
to say
no,
hi
no.
to everyone too. David, Taryn, Elizabeth, Peter, and Ron. Hello, everyone, and good night. Just wanted to say congratulations. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Cecilia. I
Bye.
miss you so much. Are you doing the 40-day just clap? Oh, okay.
Oh
Are
yeah.
you still doing that? Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
And kudos, but I'm kind of doing kudos quickies because wisdom is just kind of weird and stuff these days. So, but yeah, I'm still doing 8 o'clock or at least around. So
Yay.
come on around, everyone.
Thank
Celebrate your
you.
wins. Bye.
Kudos to you, Cecilia. We love you. And yeah, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we're going to go to David Farmery's show here on Fireside and we'll clap like Cecilia did for me today. So, Peter, I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you like to be on camera?
I normally would love to, but I'm out at the park and have nowhere to prop my phone in front of me.
Oh, no problem. I'm just so happy you're here and you're at the park. How fun.
Yes, so congratulations, Graciela. I have so much love for you, so much admiration for you. You inspire me, you enlighten me.
Oh,
I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished. I'm astounded and amazed, although you never cease to amaze me.
oh,
And you
stop.
become such a dear friend in my life. I couldn't imagine a day without corresponding with Graciela. It would just be a gray day now. And I would like to amend Ron's prediction one way. I totally believe what he said that when you're much older, you will still be doing this. However, you will have your own magazine called the G Magazine because you will be on the level of Oprah and you will have your gown. You will have the Gown network instead of the OWN network, the GOWN network.
Nice.
That's the level I see you in like 15 years.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not. It's 15 years. I'll still, look like right now in 15 years. But no, I'm kidding. Peter, thank you so much for that. I love you so much, and checking in with you is my pride and joy. So I'm so, so grateful for you. And Peter just finished his book that he brought up last year. Maybe not on episode 1, but we did talk about Peter's book pretty early on in the
Early
journey of,
on, yeah, it was early
yeah,
on.
early on in the journey of moon magic and mindfulness with Grace. And he recently finished it, and I got the little scoop, the blind item, and I'm just so excited for your book, and I cannot wait for Elijah to read it and everyone else. And also, I I was going to read a children's book, but now that it's not here, I will make a note to bring it next week while Venus is still in retrograde until September
Ooh,
3rd.
nice.
But yes, but what I wanted to say, Peter, thank you again so much, and congratulations on your book. Um, I'm just so, so grateful for all of you in the room and listening. Thank you for joining and for being a part of the conversation, because that's what I love about it, right? I want to ask questions and probe and pry and I don't know, help you along. That's really what I love, what I'm here for, right? So Peter, thank you again.
Yes, thank you, Graciela.
Enjoy the park.
Thank you, I will. Enjoy Taylor Swift tonight.
Oh my gosh, I will. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have 15 minutes. let's talk about this Lion's Gate. And I'm gonna pull from all the beautiful flowers I just received. Thank you, Ron, Cecilia. Thank you, David and Taryn and Elizabeth and Peter for being here and for sharing such beautiful words. I'm just so grateful. But I want to flip them towards you because the Venus retrograde Leo thing is an invitation to figure out the rubble so that you can shine, so that you can really really stop doing whatever doesn't bring you joy, whatever is not aligned with your values. That's Venus asking, what do you value? Why do you value that? What is it about it that brings you joy? What is it about it that you love so much? What is it about it that your family doesn't understand? What is it about it that, right? That's Venus questioning everything. And so when you align the ducks, things just flow beautifully. Not just love, but creativity, um, business, etc., right? Life in general. And that is something I feel like, been trying to achieve, honestly, ever since I can remember, with feelings of displacement, ever since I can remember. It's been a chase of what is mine? Where is home? Where do I belong? My moon in Cancer has been tumbling like a tumbleweed for many, many years. And that's actually one of my own journeys, struggles, quote unquote, struggles, that as a coach, trauma survivor, and all these other titles that stack up, my relationship with my home has been very interesting, and I'm still figuring it out, and we've been here for 4 years. And so a lot of these themes for me are tied to my childhood home and the things that transpired and the things that I felt and experienced and what I walked away with. And how do I transform, transmute, translate, or abandon to then create my home? And not just my home as in the walls, but my home right here. And it just never stops. And when I say it never stops, the tug and pull of like what could have been, what should have been, what would have been, and what I'm trying to do now, and what I want, and how I see it, and what I have available to make that vision happen, it's like never ending. And it's probably one of the reasons why I try to do so many things. And one of the things that Jessica brought up this week is that we should really try to not overcommit. That's very Mercury retrograde, to overcommit, to double book yourself because you didn't realize there's a miscommunication in the booking, right? So when I say, oh, thank you, Taryn. Oh, Taryn says, I just got home, but your poem was amazing, and I'm so grateful, and I love you, and I love you, Taryn. And we're going to meditate in a few minutes. So do your little bedtime routine while you listen. So all of that to say, thank you all so much. When I looked back on the year, I really had no choice but to feel so grateful and so proud of the things that just transpired and the things that we've made happen in the last year. And now that takes us to the Lion's Gate. Because the thing about the Lion's Gate is that, please do your research. It was called this in the 90s, but it is related to this Sirius star that gets intermingled with the constellation, with the stars of the Leo sign. And so that's happening. But the thing is that it doesn't peak at any time And it's been happening all month long already. It's been happening for a while. It didn't start this week, and it doesn't start tomorrow. So I wanted to propose looking at it from a different perspective, and that is the numerology, the numeral, the numerology of it all. I wanted to say, that's right. We're gonna sing to Taryn. Thank you, Ron, for reminding me. Even though, I remembered Saturday, and I was like, I texted Taryn Saturday, and I said, "Happy birthday! I'm sorry I missed it." She's like, "You haven't. It's not today." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I really did not want to forget, and so I sent it to her early. Yeah, that's very Mercury retrograde coded, right? That miscommunication. But anyway, the infinity symbol, the power that it holds, so many people put so much emphasis on it. We've talked about the infinity symbol. Taylor Swift is obsessed with the hourglass. There's so many Easter eggs about that. But we in the Empaths Unite community spaces, previously co-hosted by my noble co-host Ron, now co-hosted by Adam, we've talked about how I bring up the infinity symbol as in that constant, ever flowing energetic exchange, or even just our own journey in general. And so the 8-8 portal has to do with that. But in reality, if you add 8-8, it's 16, and that's the number 7. So what does the 7 stand for? And of course, if you're going to add the 2023, or if you're just going to add up the 23, that's a totally different number. But we're going to talk about the number 7. Oh, and this is numerology for beginners. Totally recommended. It's quite new for me, even though I've had it for a while, because if I feel prompted to look into numerology, then I have it, but it's not something that like spirit, just not really. But this was recommended by our good friend Hakeem, and I bought it immediately. Number 7, positive, spiritual, mystical, quiet, which, comes in handy when you're trying to avoid miscommunication during a Venus retrograde with Mercury retrograde, and you really should be remembering that you got 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak. So listen more than you speak, right? So quiet, philosophical, thoughtful, intelligent, wink, analytical. Now that can be positive or negative, honestly, because are you over analytical? Pensive. So that's even thinking even deeper, right? Discreet. Oof. And Jessica Laniero did advise against gossiping. Wait, gossiping. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Gossiping. And gossiping is a gossiping is a cultural phenomenon. Gossiping is a side effect of Moon and Gemini. Gossiping is just a very natural thing. The question is, are you sharing positivity? Or are you bad mouthing people or canceling culture? Like, are you a hater, right? So be mindful of that. Inventive, which I feel like is that call to explore your creative ideas or creative endeavors. Psychic, nice. Intuitive, introspective, artistic, and reserved. So that's just from the very beginning of the book. The column for the number 7, there's a lot of negative aspects as well. Lonely, critical, depressed, moody, shy, slow, cold, unrelenting, withdrawn, elusive, devious, calculating, standoffish. So, I'm not saying that all of this is the energy reading for the 8-8 portal. I'm only saying that I felt prompted to just look at the numerology of 8-8. Since the Lionsgate portal, it's like maybe not really a thing. It's been happening for like 2 weeks. So, do with that what you may. I feel like all of these aspects we just heard from the number 7 in the Numerology for Beginners guide by Gary Bauer are pretty on point. Now, in social media, you're going to hear all about how the portal opens a golden door where, we walk through, which is what we're about to do in the meditation. And it's utter abundance and the perfect time to manifest. In reality, it's the perfect time to manifest because we're about to go into the new moon and the beginning of the whole cycle in 1 month. The moon just went from Aries in Taurus, and so now we're on the second sign along all the 12, right? And then it's going to end with the full moon in Pisces on August 30th. So I feel like it's the perfect opportunity to mindfully practice gratitude. We've been talking about gratitude all episode long. I'm so grateful for you this past year and for you in the room now. And sometimes when the negativity comes through, it's hard to be grateful because, who wants to be grateful when you're out there in the scorching heat, doing something that doesn't really maybe bring you that much joy? Like my older kids work in landscape. Do you think they want to be out there? Like, no, they're all working really hard to continue to move along and to do other things. But right now, that's the job that they have, right? And so 97 degrees outside mowing a lawn. Who wants to do that? Nobody. Not in Venus retrograde. We all just want to lay down and relax and have fun and watch Taylor Swift all day. Yeah, please. No, I'm kidding. So be grateful, practice gratitude so that you send the message to the universe that you're grateful for the blessings that you have received. And then that Lionsgate portal will bring you all of that abundance. How about that? Practice gratitude first, and then see what comes from that. So that's my invitation. But we're still going to do a meditation. So let's get to it. Adam is just in time. And guess what? I found my iPad. It was lost for 2 weeks. It wasn't really lost. It was in the shelf in the living room, but literally under like 4 books. So it was just misplaced. So lonely. And I didn't think to do the find my. I just thought about that. But music for this meditation is brought to you by, sorry, I was looking for it because this light is here. Brain FM. Music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. We're going to meditate, we're going to do unguided, and then we are going to pick chimes. All right. Can you hear me? Can you chat if you can hear me? Okay, good. So let me just. I apologize, but I'm having some sound issues here. Okay, can you hear me now? Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, thank you. I apologize, but I had a sound issue here, but we're gonna go with chimes and bowls in honor of our dear friend Curtis, who totally would have played his bowls for our anniversary episode. Both feet on the ground. And we are going to the moon. It is waning, almost at the quarter moon. We are all in our space suits, and it's bright, and it's cold, and the earth looks so amazing. And we are all together. And it's so funny how we are bouncing around. And with me as you settle into this moment, we're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath in through your nose all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. Nice and slow. Long breath out. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath in, hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out through your mouth. Long breath out all the way. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax. Settle into that breath. And watch as we all see in the distance, on the moon, in the brightness, a golden, shiny, glorious gate. And through this gate, on the moon, there is a lush oasis of abundant nature. But to go through it, we must unpack whatever has no room in that lush abundance on the other side of that gate. Expired relationships, forced projects, expired values that don't really resonate, trauma that keeps coming up but you feel prepared to let go of. This is the moment. And so we all just lay it down. Now our space suits are less bulky. They're lighter. We're floating even higher. Look at Ron go. There he goes. but we make our way to the Golden Gate. And with one deep breath in through your nose, deep, 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 deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth. Long breath out all the way. Hold it at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again. Through your nose. Deep, 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 deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out through your mouth. Long breath out. And relax. And as we bounce and make our way to the Golden Gate, take a moment to remember, I take pride in the fact that my values are present in my work. Peace, kindness, and love propel me forward. I am loved. I am guided. I am abundant. I am abundantly blessed. And I make sure that my blessings are appreciated, shared, and enjoyed. With me, take one last deep breath in, one last rep, deep, deep, deep breath all the way. Hold it at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out through your mouth. Long breath out all the way. Hold it at the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again, one last time through your nose. Long, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out through your mouth. Long, slow breath out. Hold it at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax. And slowly bring your awareness to your feet. And wiggle your toes. Slowly open your eyes. And come back to me. Yeah. Special thanks to Rowena, who will be watching the replay because she's at work in Australia. But I love Rowena so much. And my subscribers, thank you so much. My listeners on Spotify, I'm so grateful for you. Like my Swiftie friends that I told you about last week, they listened to the episode tomorrow when I posted on Spotify, and it's so cute. And I just love you all so much. And if you're watching on YouTube, Linda, Marianne Baker, Ian, I love you so much. And thank you all for being here. Adam, thank you for joining us. I don't want it to end. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we're going to be back next week. We're going to talk about the new moon happening in Leo. And it's going to be a great opportunity to dream big, to plant those seeds. If like this is the new moon to ponder, what does authenticity look like for me? what do I really want to happen in the next year? Ooh, have you ever planned ahead like that, or just dreamt big? I didn't really plan a lot of the things that transpired in the last year, a year ago, but I did plant the seeds like little by little with every new moon, and things just keep materializing and moving forward. It's just so amazing to see. So, thank you again for being here. I love you all, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.
Stay tuned, the show is about to begin.